We'll have to. Not quite sure. Yep. Just need to look at the TV. Sorry about that.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. The time is now 6:09 in the evening, and I'm calling July 11th meeting of the Village of Chester Commission to order. We would like to speak with Matt Landy.
Certainly. Up to you. As we meet today, we acknowledge that we live in Mi'kmaq, the traditional and ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. We are all treaty people with a responsibility to each other and to this land.
Thank you. We don't have anyone here in the public forum. We know we have anyone online.
We do not.
Madam Chair, will proceed. Can I just note that clock is wrong? The meeting started at 6:04. 6:04, please correct.
Just as long as it isn't too late.
I have. Yes, it's about. Okay, so we will proceed to a vote on the agenda. Has everyone had the opportunity to look at the agenda for the evening? Yes. I will accept a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
I'm sorry, I forgot you and I talked about this. We do have two late items to add.
Okay.
It's funny, 2 meetings in a row. We don't normally do that. Yeah. Under correspondence, item 6.2, Chester Playhouse loading zone, and under new business, item 8.3, office mini fridge.
Oh, very important.
Very important.
Which number was it? I missed it.
The fridge, 6.2 and 8.3. They'll be in your,
Yeah, can we discuss both of them? Yeah, just a second.
it's okay.
Okay, so we would like to amend the agenda to include a letter from the Chester Playhouse about a loading area. And under new or other business, we would like to add the possibility of adding an appropriate place for the staff of the commission. If someone like to move the agenda, thank you for.
Oh, do you have an option? Which one was on which? Those on the shift ones?
It is on Playhouse, it's supposed to, and they're just looking for permission, actually, from the municipality, because it's not our jurisdiction, but us to support their request.
Okay, I need more information before. Meeting. Only talk about the August meeting, consider funds, we
Okay,
started to relook that.
any business? Heather?
Yes. Yes.
Well, you want to talk about the August meeting and the reserve funds? Which are there?
Let's see.
The strategic plan.
Oh, this is plan, what do you call it?
Strategic.
Okay, okay.
3.4. Okay,
Unless we're going to go to her, so we just-
it's under new business 8.4. Okay, so the amendments are 6.2, the loading dock under correspondence. 8.3, the British Storage Commission staff, and 8.4, August meeting, discussion of the reserve fund for the evening. Everybody clear on that? And Lori, are you still willing to? Yes. I'll take a word. Move by Lori, and okay, review of the minutes.
Sorry if we didn't vote.
Go.
Let's see, about
I come from the school, if there's no objections. It's unanimous.
Well, we can't do that.
Okay.
If you don't vote, an abstention is considered a negative.
so the thing.
Yeah.
I did opposite. I will remember. Okay, the annual public meeting, Tuesday, June 18th. Has everybody had the opportunity to read it? Are there any amendments that anyone would like to put forward? May I have a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
So,
Thank you. Thank you, Randy. So Randy and Gloria. Item 4.2, the monthly commission meeting Wednesday, June 19th. Does everyone have the opportunity to Does anyone have amendments or revisions to anything in it? May I have a motion to approve the minutes on Wednesday, June 19th? Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Gloria, for that. Business allowance.
vote on that. It's all here, yeah.
Yeah, you're the vote caller, right?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, business allowance. Audit letters. You want to leave it there?
Yes, please. So there's a short report just ahead of it. So as the normal procedure, since the audit, the financial statements were approved, these letters arrive and require signatures, and then one of those pages goes back and we get the finals that we can post. So these are all part of the audit process under the Canadian Public Sector Accounting Standards. So there's a one there that's just for information, one that the commission chair and clerk treasurer sign, one that the chair signs, and one that the clerk, another one that the clerk treasurer signs. So we have our options here are to direct the chair and clerk treasurer to sign the letters as provided and return to the auditors, or if you have any questions or concerns about the audit, decline to sign the current drafts and request amendments to the letters. Now, it's not questions to the statements because those have already been approved.
Are you looking for a motion?
Yes, please.
There's discussion, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. There is one thing that I'm still getting clarification on. You'll notice that some of the letters are addressed to Nancy as the chair. And she was the chair at the presentation, but not at the time of approval. So I'm checking with Lawrence whether he needs to reissue those letters or whether we can just cross it off and write it in. So
For the motion?
Yeah.
I think we can go ahead either way, but
And we can do
Yeah.
motion, but we have to clarify who actually signs the letter.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The commission approved the audit letters as received from Morris Booster Lake and direct the chair and clerk treasurer to sign and return the letters as required.
thank you, Laura.
Yeah, it's all right.
Second for that motion, Gloria, thank you. So we have Laura, move, and Gloria second. For the motion.
45 pages of land. Yeah, certainly.
Okay. 22, page 26 on your packet. Give what meeting, and this is a staff report, so I would be grateful if that is the minutes.
thank you. So this was a request that came up at the last meeting. As you know, we do have a line item for maintenance on the GIB lot, but that's for the routine maintenance, and this is an extra piece, so we just need to get it costed. So there are, I looked into a couple of different options, but it seemed to make the most sense to me that there's bollard covers that you can purchase and then cut down to size. So here's a photo of how it looks at the moment. So I would suggest, because we can get lots of different colors, I would suggest this one, but over the gray one with the gray one here with the red stripes, that it blends in a bit. Yeah, sorry, this one. The big one, the one
You
that's
like that one?
bigger.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Nancy mentioned in her letter that she sent around it. I suppose, I was going to take it for the study, but
That would be,
that. We're ready to.
It would actually cost more to take them out and then
Yeah.
refill the holes.
That's what the match, that's the purpose of this, is to protect the monument.
Yes,
Or
You don't want to.
people often back in there when they're sitting there, you don't know.
I can see that they would be protected by.
You feel the gray would be noticeable?
we could go with one of the brighter ones, the red or the yellow, but
I didn't see it really, but
Okay.
that way you can see. How about you, Tom? You want to- It's away from this. Yeah, I think the idea is the gray.
yeah, it just kind of blends into the fence a little more, but
Monument is kind of a darker color.
I was more looking at the fence that it's in the middle of there, but
Yeah,
black, I think. I think black would be, you wouldn't see it at night, so I don't suggest that.
I just want to know next But I'm honest to God, I've gone by there a million times and never noticed it. I know. So you brought them up in the meeting. Yeah. But somebody else. Well, they have.
Yeah.
we seem pretty happy on that, someone makes.
One exactly actually. Draft motion, we talk, the commissioner approval of the various Giblon property. Words, yes, and fish. Is outlined, okay, I want to. Approve that, but I'd like to make a comment on the fence.
Absolutely.
There was something about fence in the. I have a favor, this has come up before. And what they do is they take the wedded ones at the back. Put them in the front, and then it all fits in. And the new ones go up the back, it takes 40 years and a half to do it. So this seems renowned.
Well, Gibby was saying, is he went around and like counted everything quite carefully, and he said there's quite a lot of rot that's set in. And he'd suggest we don't wait any more than like 2 years to actually replace it. So what he's suggesting doing this year is similar to what Tom's suggesting, is repositioning some to cover the more obvious blank spots to just kind of make it look a little more uniform again.
And then
But-
budget for it.
But then next year or the year after, we should budget for replacement.
Because there's nothing for the moment in the budget.
No, it's a bit late in the year to try.
Sorry to make that motion still stand. Well, I guess I'm on the fence, right?
I'm sorry?
Have I along, the concrete houses there, the don't space around, just take it to the house. Put them at the front and see it from the road.
I'll mention it to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we- So you're going to continue to move that? one?
Yes.
Maybe in the second one? Thank you, Gloria. So we make Tom second by Gloria, the commission for the to the Kidwell property road and then puts out on for the property cost of $350. And then just as a note in the minutes, we will be doing an estimate for replacing the fence within the next week. Okay, correspondence, point one, municipal affairs tax exemption bylaw is noted. Page 3.
Yeah, this is just for information, because we're required, villages are required to get permission from the minister before. To get approval for a bylaw, except for tax exemption, we don't need approval. They just need to have a copy. So this is just acknowledgement that everything's, Yeah. so just for information.
For the discussion, with everybody sharing with that?
Just an acknowledgement.
Yeah. Okay, item 6.2, it's the request from the Chester Playhouse about road.
So again, this a relatively small matter. That's the okay, sorry, right here. Stuck to the other paper. So the general manager of the Playhouse reached out to us because they are interested in putting a loading zone in front of the theater to help with accessible patrons. So I was helping him a little bit, liaising with the municipality. So we've had a few updates since that. So the jurisdiction, some of the jurisdictions with the province, and that's with they're the traffic, and some of the jurisdictions with the municipality. But in case it were to come back around to us, if this has to go to council to get our opinion, we just thought it might sort of save a step if we provided them with a motion to just say we approve of it or have that we have no objection to it, essentially.
So what will that entail, putting signs like no parking or something, or?
Well, it would mean that right in front of the Playhouse, they'd have to put in a cut curb and just one of those lines on the street as a loading zone, and then accessible vehicles, yeah.
Like usually with these kinds of things, people will say no parking to
When they have shows or what have you.
yeah, and they usually only do it for like some two parking spaces, so that you get a really possible.
Yeah.
But right now, accessibility is a thing, and the province is actually providing accessibility signs to annually. I suspect that the fastest immediately won't mention the annual just to go to Alan Johnson or Bill before meter should probably review the process. And they'll
She's actually in the loop already. Tammy copied her in, so.
and I did see a draft of the summons that they're getting.
Nice.
I suspect that this will be a better review.
I told him if he positioned it as an accessibility ask, it would very likely
Yeah,
be the most efficient way to get it through. So that's what it is.
I'm not against it anyway, but parking was a premium already, so
Theater is running shows.
I understand this all the time.
Now, my understanding is it would be for patrons loans for the theater.
It's gonna be hard to restrict it to over 2 hours or 3 hours, so.
I don't, I mean, obviously, they don't go for this, but the idea that, you know. I can live here as long as you and me and some, but you can barely find a place as it is now. And if you start cutting off that area in front of the theater, you simply lose parking where you really can't stand to lose it.
That's true.
And
And
it's,
to come from the post office.
I hate the knowledge.
Yeah, and depending on where, I mean, it's obviously the province's decision, so they may just decide to make it
Sure.
an accessible parking space, so.
Per se,
yeah.
simply saying that you have to balance the laws and the art. This making this thing happen.
accessibility or 2 different.
Yeah.
The loading could be at 9 AM. Here, and so. That the same.
Well, you see, that's what I'm suggesting goes down because there's now parking to be accessible parking will be specific to.
People that are unloading, people that destruction, so it's
Not just. Two lots of parking places 24/7, it's specific to the. things.
So they would put out a sign saying we're having a show tonight, you can't park there, it's like, what's the point?
Don't know, and I don't think they've got that far, which is why I want to get to accessibility. Because they don't need to deal with that, I want to see that, but we simply approve it in principle.
The thing is, I think we're gonna look like humbugs if we don't.
Up a spot for 20 hours, okay, for the 2 hours you need, but I've never seen a spot that says accessible only from 2 to 4 or 6 to 8 or something.
Are they in a hurry for this?
Well, they don't actually need this from us. It's more a question of,
The support.
Philosophically, if we
Yeah.
approve it for general idea.
because if it is a parking space issue, it might have to go to council.
Or will that.
Well,
And that would be something that they want to know is if we have any objections.
it's not morals. Yeah, I don't think there's. No. So what do we do?
We could just express support in principle.
Do not express, support in principle.
Do we have to move on? So treasurer agreement.
In terms of goals, so that they can get whatever necessary for the requirement. From whatever level of government.
I think I'll remember that.
Thank you.
You should, for just that.
And
Yeah.
Because you just put a spot sitting there empty for all day long, there's so no parking for business already.
So we have to,
If you kind of throw something along in there, but.
The balance of
yeah.
traffic and, yeah.
It's a night show or something.
oh, yeah, I don't have a problem with it, just lose or. Yeah.
It's like.
That clarification.
They have to staff and let's.
That's a whole different.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to plug that into the municipality.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we're just getting more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we have to vote on that? There was a motion.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Okay.
Shane?
Unanimous, thank you very much, I can make it's one thing of importance. And I took pleasure, so for the license, that on page 31.
it's the good show tonight.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah. I hope we have football games. Well, let's-
So,
For everybody.
all right, so activity report. As you know, the pool opened on June 29th with a full complement of staff, and they all attended a 2-hour orientation on the 28th to take them through some processes and policies and whatnot. 2 new lifeguard chairs that were donated to the swim program have been installed on the pool deck. The MOU discussed last month was approved by our legal advisor and signed by the Chester District Swim Programs Director, Darcy Stevens, and myself. Security cameras are back up and running. The leak on the exterior wall is worse this year, and our maintenance staff is having to top up the water levels more often. This is part of the capital repair schedule for September, so last time for this. People who aren't familiar with the pool are finding it difficult to locate, even from the public washing room parking. It can be invisible. I'm gathering costs for 1 or 2 larger and more prominent signs for the lawn there that will keep, but I'll keep the commission updated. You honestly, you really can't. When you park in that lot, you can't even see it. We've had people come up here asking us where it is, and they were down there.
Were they from Chester or outside?
Well, there's a lot of visitors that use
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Realize it's like,
There's people
it's
in there.
like we said, out for any local, over school.
Last year, I was, the person who was, organizing the security guard or sharing. And the first time I was down there, even though I knew where the pool was, I never actually used it, I knew where it was. I actually took a minute or 2 to find it, so I do understand.
It really is insane.
Use the pool.
Yeah, I've had calls about it too.
Yeah, I'll grant you.
Application, the village flower baskets have been installed. Several benches near the public washroom needed repairs, which have been completed. In the wake of the storms last summer, the commission discussed whether to move away from the flower baskets to a more sustainable option. I would suggest that the village begin public consultation with a survey physically mailed to residents, as well as available online. If this is agreeable, I will draft a survey and bring it to a future meeting. Chester Fire, while the chief's report is included later in the agenda, there are a few other updates you may be interested in. The fire station pre-design project, the Acre Architects team are in their final stages of geotechnical assessment. That's why there's an excavator sitting out there on the site. They'll be drilling on Friday, and exterior building design with the interior floor plan pretty much complete. Class D estimates are expected around the end of the month, and there will be a public engagement session on building designs most likely in August. I'm starting to work with Dan Pittman at the municipality on the Phase 2 RFP for final designs and tender documents. And a website is being developed for the committee and a social media campaign. So just so you know, all these things are happening as well. Strategic plan question, which we'll circle back to, with Commissioner Mulrooney's ask is, I was also just gonna ask if, commissioners had a preference of August or September to hold a strategy development session, but we can talk to that
Okay.
later on. Meetings and training, all staff, including lifeguards, Maxine and myself have completed women's training. I completed a workplace violence and harassment for managers training course. And the quarterly Association of Nova Scotia Villages meeting was held on June 11th. And the South Shore Regional AMA monthly meeting was this morning. Always an interesting session, and I neglected to bring my notes in about that, if there's anything to talk to you about.
I could you find you were women.
Oh, oh my God. It's basically how you handle the, any dangerous chemicals. And we have,
Health and safety, rings a bell.
yeah, so WMIS is just how to read the information sheets. So the pool staff obviously have to handle quite a number of things that are a little nasty. And even here in the office, cleaning supplies, toner, those kinds of things are considered hazardous material.
Okay, so go back to the survey. I don't feel that we a motion that everyone is in general agreement about having the to bring back to us in the page.
It's probably one of the things that does do. People like. Why are we going on question? What's the survey?
The second year was on, I listened to a first show on. Laura Lynch shows it on CBC and it's all about Earth and stuff, and then we can, we can stop and everything, but with the seeds and stuff, we can see, and. With people's wells running dry, Terry out there watering away profusely, they're not native plants, they're not pollinators, so it is something, and they are beautiful, but it is something. Right, we do it one way for a long time and then it's easy to fall into that, but maybe there's another alternative.
And we have had folks come to us say we can be watering the more. So it's worthy to ask.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's not coming in this way, it's coming in.
it's like, whatever.
I spent a lot of time with this sheet. And if I'm in there a few days, and the flower has to show up, I know the one. I get comments from more and more people, my God, and flowers are like. And every community I know, they got rid of flowers, a lot of Halifax to get rid of it, people basically complaining, like, how to do it.
And I did some pictures, they had there were some nice flowers in Bridgewater, I mean, there were million bells, really beautiful baskets, I don't know if they're any different or cheaper or whatever, but they were lovely.
We've been keeping this back and forth for
Well, this-
a lot of years. We discussed it several times before. Whether we kept up with the flower baskets and we tried to search for something that thought might be a useful alternative that would beautify the town without. Costing as much, I'm sorry, without costing as much as these flowers are beginning to cost. And we never came to a decision, it just seems to be discussion after discussion. A lot of us were saying, get rid of. It could be perfect, but there was some sentiment about getting rid of them in favor of something else. The problem is we couldn't agree on something else.
And we didn't agree on getting rid of it.
No.
Yeah, it was actually from back in, did I put it in here?
We did run over this.
There was, we had a whole report with a couple of ideas back in October, I believe.
Summer.
And we have the deadline coming up then because we have to order the flowers by November. So the commission's decision at that time was to go ahead and order the flowers for November, only for a 1-year contract again, because Terry is always interested in multi-year.
Absolutely.
So 1 year to renew for 1 year and then to find a way to consult the public. So this was what everyone wanted to do. It's roughly it's about 25. 25.
Never during the budget. Around 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Kara gave me the gears and the frozen stories, but oh, something why, yeah, I want to get rid of the flowers, or, yeah, that was. Get rid of the flowers.
It's that they may not be sustainable as the climate keeps changing, so,
People, it's no water. I mean,
yeah, the optics are terrible.
I guess in the modern age, yeah, when this started, it was quite some years ago. The stuff, yeah, and well, it's like times have changed, people are more, what's the word, aware of.
Yeah, and we're not even here.
Okay, well,
Well, so all we're asking at this time is that Heather do a sort of.
People might have some fantastic ideas, so give them space too, like not just a yes or no. Give them space.
Absolutely. So I'll bring draft back with, um,
pull the process, so that when people get more alternatives to get to, they're not suggesting something that's 5 times.
yeah. And because if there was something like art, for instance, that might be something that has to be phased in over a number of years to stay within our. And all that in the single.
And I heard you talk about type of flowers, just remember, it's salty air in the wind, because we've gone through that.
Yeah, that's flowers are doing upon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
they're all in English.
the trees that they use for something, so you don't have to get up there, because if you don't have self-saving, then you have to.
They did it all the time.
I think in Western Store also they have a mixture of petunias and million dollars.
I don't know what policy.
Or a million bells, so taking care of themselves, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, Gloria did it for years, she never wanted. So basically, these, I don't know if it makes them cheaper.
Maybe it was hard to say. Oh, a few years ago it would have, but I don't know right now. I think it's still.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would say that's 4 months. Yeah.
All right, so we, I think that kind of resort, and, that's not required, so.
No,
Okay, the next report, of course, is the financial, and including the 24-25 Q1 budget variance report, which is Randy's stuff.
that's a lot. I'm like,
But not fair. You didn't do a thing of notes like you normally do.
I put them straight on.
Yeah, straight. I was looking for the page.
Next them next to it.
Yeah, but I still might have to say, well, I got your note, but what does that mean exactly?
Okay, I can go back to a separate page.
No, yeah.
No, we're not quite there yet. So Scotiabank, so the June 2024 bank statement has been reconciled. We started the month with 618,000 in the bank and ended with 557. The utility reserve investment renewed automatically on June 16th at 4.25%. The fund had 53,000 at renewal. The reallocation of fire-related funds to the Chester Fire Services Committee accounts will be discussed later this evening. HST offset and rebate. The provincial HST offset program grant was received in the amount of 9,141 for 22-23. It's always a couple of years staggered, of which the village portion is 3862 or 42.25% of the spend that year, because I have breakdowns per year. The federal GST HST rebate application for the second half of 23-24 has been submitted, so we're just waiting now to hear back. The audit letters are on tonight's agenda. Once signed and returned, the final financial statements will be received and posted. A final revised 23-24 budget reconciliation report is in progress, incorporating adjustments from the audit. I would hope to have that tonight too, but we've got rather a lot to get through, so it's not time sensitive, so I'll bring it next week. Yeah. And then the budget variance report is attached to this report, so we can skip ahead to that.
So before. Page 37. I know this is some sort of. Stupid little note on mine. It's just the thing that says. Service charge. $2.50, yeah, page 37.
Yeah.
Then the balance is like 39,850. What accounts does that have to do?
Fire code. That's the fire code, yes. It's just the 250, yeah.
Oh, excuse me, yeah, no, I just thought, I didn't think there was that much money in there, and so.
Essentially, his function as a reserve without being a reserve.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, that's fine, that was just something. No, there's still.
well, we're still working on a report for council with some options so they can give them direction on how deep they want to go.
How much does council want them to do? Well,
The variations are a lot. Sorry,
okay,
just grab this
yeah, I'm
report.
sorry, I didn't mean to stop. You want to keep going later, I'll get to the report. Or
Yeah, I'm just gonna
the,
pull it up again.
Well, okay.
Well, I'm just going
That
to,
was freaky when they go online. Yeah, it's like, it's horizontal or it's vertical. I was.
yeah, sorry about that. Okay, we'll go back to doing it the other way.
No, I
next time.
just said, I'll wait till we get it on paper and then it'll be, okay.
Okay, so in terms of our revenue for Q1,
So we're on what page?
page,
That's April 7.2? Yeah, that's the one.
yeah, page 41.
All right.
Okay, so
I know.
it just shows that of our anticipated 415, 90,000 has come in thus far. A couple of other things have come in since, but they don't hit that quarter. So we're 75% of the fiscal year remaining, and we have 78% of our revenue still to come. So we're pretty much on target there. So general government expenses, nothing really to be concerned about there. The changes that we can see is just for the annual public meeting because that's over. Most of the rest of it is still clear. On administration, if you look at the bottom total there, we're at 78% of the budget remaining for that section. There is there, yeah, the office equipment and programs is, most of it's gone because most of what's gone already is annual. It's annual renewals. So most of that happens up front at the beginning of the year. So
What entry is that?
that's way down at it's office equipment and programs, 54.95.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just that one has a big hit on it already, but it's because like just Sage alone is almost 2,000. So.
Next year we'll have the AGM right here and say all that.
Yeah.
No, 2 years from now.
No, we're talking about.
Oh, our own AGM. Yes.
I had a couple of little questions.
Sure.
Employment insurance, 54.47.
Mhm.
It's only 60, should be 75%. After the first quarter, so what happened there? Did we under budget again?
No, I think it's just when the payments come in, because they go out with each payroll. Correct me if I'm misspeaking next, but there was an extra pay in June. Was it June or May?
So we have monthly.
Yes, it was an extra one.
So we're still on track, looking for 75 minus that.
Yes,
This one is 68, I thought, oh God, did everything go up and up, budgeting is like whack, right?
I'm not concerned yet because there's 2 months of the year that have 3 payrolls in it. So
CPP, same thing.
Yeah.
4, and you're saying that may stabilize at some.
I would say when we get to the end of Q2, we'll be able to see if we're okay.
And membership and dues were down to 69, minus 69. Did we ever budget there? It should be minus 75.
Again, some of those are annual
Oh,
as
it's
well.
one shot, yeah,
Yeah.
that was my next question.
Mhm.
I know some of these things are one shot deals, or you have noted that we got our first payment here, and there's another one left, so I'm assuming that's just double. Whatever, okay, so that was, there was one there, what was it, Telus Health, we're down a little on that. That is medical insurance, what's that?
That's Blue Cross.
But it's not at 75, it's at 71.
Yeah.
So did that go up considerably or something, or,
It depends on the membership who's involved in it.
okay? If we had budget.
Does that go in with the payroll as well? Or is that separate? That's the bill we pay to TELUS for Blue Cross. No, but I mean, does it go into them with on pays or? No.
So let's just say we're a little down from 75, and I'm saying this quarter one, which should be 25% of the budget, we're gone at this point. So, anything that's lower, I'm wondering why it is.
Mhm.
And because we were basing our budget. Consumer price index, the previous year. I'm wondering whether we
That is, okay, the table, the extra week.
oh, maybe.
Could be.
I don't. know.
Again, a little bit of those things that, Yeah.
But I just was wondering if it was one of those things where CPP plus 4% didn't quite cut it in our budgeting, and so.
well, TELUS is based on payroll as well, as Geraldine said, like the figure comes as a
Yeah, so
percentage of salary, so.
a week, month. Slightly down.
Did you mention 54.95 already?
Yes, that's the one I was saying.
So it's absolutely.
Yeah, that's,
One shot deals or.
yeah, most of that, 22, like more than half of that is annual software renewals. Just,
So it's,
which all, yeah,
but it may have been spent already, it isn't likely to come back again somewhere else.
yeah. Yeah, and I just out of curiosity, I took those out of the figure to see where it would land and it's fine, so.
The decorative light repair, 5526. That's a massive, but I realized, did we defer that into this year's budget or something?
But look, that's complete, so it's done. That was, that repair, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
Just with it forever, and we ordered it like halfway through last year.
But does that mean that?
And, but the repair wasn't actually done until this year.
Required, where does that money?
Well, let's hope no more.
So that's a whole budget for the year. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know. Yeah, what I'm saying.
And I actually wasn't anticipating all of it to hit this year. I thought it's still, yeah.
A law.
yeah,
And anyways, as a whole chapter of administration, we're still at -78, which is fine, but I just wanted to know about those things. A couple on the next page, page 3 of 5, nothing terrible here. There is one, let's see, Giblot maintenance. At -54.81. Are we likely to see?
well, that's the line that we will, because that's the line where we had, where we just added these repairs to the bollards.
Stuff, but we didn't get, we didn't.
But no, we didn't. That's why we had to go back and look at it, but it's not a large amount, so I think overall it'll be absorbed, but we'll see.
I like the installment one or two paid on, but that tells me that if I double that figure, are we still under budget, and it looks like we are.
We'll be fine now.
And so the whole Giblot total is like, whoa, we're down to -53 already in the first quarter. of the
Yeah.
year.
The mowing costs are really high this year compared to previous. Yeah, Lane does.
The push work staff at Elaine's and all of those, which.
Oh, no, I realize.
Yeah, minimum wage went up, so, yeah, so we put CPI on that, but
Guess what we did?
Yeah.
Even more. 4%.
yeah, we did with some items, but yeah, we're taken a little by surprise too on how much has hit it already.
But that.
That-
It's just a box.
Yeah.
It's really. But when you, then you let it stone on to so it's
True.
double the amount.
It only goes till September to,
We're still, so that's pretty.
Yeah. yeah.
I'm
but-
done, thank you.
Okay. So there's that, so I just wanted to flag too before we move on, so under the capital budget, there just hasn't been anything posted yet because the work hasn't started, although we do have the engineering report and the accessibility audit costs in now, but that'll be posted in Q2. And then for the EMC building, you'll notice that the expense is higher than the revenue right now, just because the repairs to the roof were done. And we have now transferred that amount from reserve into
Okay,
the operating account. It just didn't show up here yet. It'll be in next. And that's,
I don't know, would anybody else have any help? I think to a friendly, sensitive. Pointed person, but it's my specialty. I don't choose.
I would like to say excellent job, that's hard pass.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
No. We're pretty pleased to see one, it's just those people for all minutes, otherwise. It was not the budget.
Yeah.
It wasn't just you.
yeah,
We didn't have a little money.
Budget change.
Oh, I know, we had to move it.
it's our best guess in the moment.
Well, it's basically city of South. Should next year, we budget higher.
Yeah, and we did that in a lot of
Oh, we did.
for ourselves.
Now, report is-
Oh, Glory, thanks, Gloria. Gloria. But just, something just came to my head, when we were talking about flowers, and maybe I had to contact the people that we get the flowers from.
Yeah.
And get a price on $1 million. And ask them about,
See some. goes-
yeah, and it'd be good on
That's the song.
I think,
What's the word?
yeah, it's just after then. Yeah, we just did a price, and maybe like, yeah,
Yeah,
say $2.
yes, excellent.
That picture, I have.
No,
Yeah.
I can't remember. You saw it? I can't remember how you sent it to me. I don't know if you just sent it on Facebook or. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Would you like to lead into the children's?
Yeah, as you'll recall, the preference of the commission was just to get the fire department report and not the whole minutes from that group. So, the chief's report for last month was that they responded to 27 incidents, 13 medicals, 2 investigations, 3 MVA, 1 structure fire, 2 EHS assists, 1 mutual aid, 1 chimney fire, 3 fire alarms, and 1 trash fire. They attended the Shore Cycle pre-planning meeting at the request of the Martins River Chief for water supply. They attended a thank you in Shelburne for their contribution to the wildfire fighting last year, as they spent quite a lot of time down there, as you'll recall last year. They were invited by Blandford to participate in a training scenario in the Coleman Cove area. They had the first half of their interior crew complete their live fire refresher at the Nova Scotia Firefighter School on June 23rd. They have to do that in 2 shifts because you've got to leave people on duty. So the other half will happen in September. Their monthly practice in June involved advancing lines and hauling volumes by hose. Yeah, and then just some meetings and emails and calls and whatnot. So continues to be pretty lively at the fire station.
17 report essentially that was getting fire service.
This is the same, yeah, they give this at the fire service committee and then I just bring it here.
We are very fortunate to have such a professional volunteer fire. If anyone has questions, that they want to forward or, we ready to move on?
I just would take note that 50% of the calls are still on medical. So now, and that these men and women are working at jobs, and that's not their job.
That's really hard on.
It's a lot.
Yeah, put that on the trucks. Otherwise, it's strong here. I mean, no one's challenging it, you know. I checked your nation.
Right.
They don't do that. No, the province is less than, the fire department's got a lot of them that. And no one's telling them, or it's expected. Just off from one car, just got it.
For an ambulance, and for your neighbor, you go out to bears and. I get what you're saying, but they shouldn't have to be doing it, but there's no. Chester ambulance, half the time is in Halifax or Yarmouth.
Well, we have insurance for a month.
Is that it?
I'll usually have an experiment.
Yeah.
I locked out the last time. We had an ambulance, so 3 minutes to do it.
Oh,
And I said, well, they were coming, Chester said it that way, 10 hours, and you're called, and we were coming. But then we got to the hospital. You know, an hour later.
Well, you're lucky and not really sure.
And she said, we can work the Chester way there, but we don't.
I'm a police
There's
department.
no law rate, that's on structure. Well, I said to the paramedics, they said, well, we can't do it until the top one. They told me,
Oh, goodness, nice.
oh, it's. But anyway.
Well, I think we're pleased that the fire department does
We-
respond to medicals because we
Yeah.
got. She's having a heart attack, we'd rather somebody be there with them, keep her company.
It's certainly good for the community.
Okay, Lunenburg County Accessibility Advisory Committee, the meeting was canceled this month, the lack of a forum, and that's, one of those report they do.
Yeah, Ellen just provided a 2-pager update, so that's just here for your information.
Yeah. Anybody in the record? It is this one of the sexy subjects right now,
Governmental,
yeah.
for
The MODC Village Planning Advisory Committee for information that's on page 49.
So this is just, there hasn't actually been a meeting, so as you'll recall, our vice chair is the new representative.
Yeah.
But there was a public hearing last week, which were you there? I watched it. It was the one on the land use bylaw.
200 people.
It was lively. And then there is one scheduled for next week,
Oh.
June 27th. No, sorry, July 22nd, Monday. And that's about a development permit. Yeah.
That's Andre Reno. The land and farmers.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the, Air Force is not, or are you on?
I don't know. Randy's not available to attend that time. I'll try and catch the live stream if I can. That one's less of a priority than the planning strategy was, so.
So there's one in August for that. That's one. Fine, advisory, I said, if they do it. It's not so long. It's according to the songs, they cancel quite often.
They only need to hold it if there's actually a planning. Yeah.
I'm sure there will be.
There will be.
Lot of stuff coming. Were you at that meeting? No, I don't know, I'm sorry. If there's something relevant to the community, you know,
There was about 165 or something.
and the people who were there and ended up speaking were well prepared. They had all their ducks in a row, and Kathy even watched it afterwards on YouTube.
It was a nice land built.
Who was that gentleman that you told me his name? Jonathan Lane. Peggy Wilson's coach.
Old.
Yes, and Barry Redmond read one from Nancy Murray.
Yes, that was in the paper.
Yeah,
Program.
and she had that pretty great now. She's always reading this book like open for a time. Because they sponsored a report that was totally saying, look, you have bad enough water system. Now you're in for anymore. after the stop. And they were prepared to add all this densification. Now, they may still try to pull that up. Actually, go to the public meetings. Oh, we've already done that. What's the public? meeting?
But they're taking it back, so that will have to go to public hearing again.
They can't take it back when you make changes and it's fine, perfect. That's not that, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just thought they might say, oh, well, we heard the public, but we're not today. They were ready to, that night, oh, I know, to do it. If 10 people show up. They were just-
It was, they didn't introduce them. They
They were
They
ready.
and told them, and the microphones didn't work, which was embarrassing and awkward and unnecessary, like that.
It was a, to put it colloquially, a shit. show.
Was that the same letter one that already posted the program identified?
If I said, well, I'm stuck.
Yes.
I just, okay, she's just.
She's no one.
Very smart.
Do we need more? Also, very cleaned up and he had, I talked to him a little bit. Happened to go by and he said, yeah. And I said, well, Don, we haven't. You guys are on interested in something called research or living day, so they did. And he had built to the wall 6 times, you know. It was a day, and there was something Dr. He threw things Dr. said back in his face, you know. It was a beautiful dissection, very well solved. And Peggy Wilson had the on the page. They were not that early. She seated for 5 minutes. I haven't seen a meeting like that in many years. That's been a while.
Shall we move on to your business? One, the conference of board member, we haven't had it tonight, that's on the good for it. So we're going to speak to that.
Yeah, briefly, we've talked about this before. So the upcoming Association of Nova Scotia Villages Conference takes place in September. So that's a Friday and a Saturday, and travel should take place on the Thursday evening because it's in Cape Breton. It's been a long drive. So I'll definitely be attending, and as we discussed back in May, I think, no, was it May? So I reserved rooms for 3 people in case, so that up to 1 or 2 commissioners could attend. So just a question now that the registration is going to come out next week. So I just wanted to find out who would like to be registered, number 1. And number 2, that the organization is going to be looking for new board members. So I'm not anticipating that there's a lot of bandwidth for members of this commission to take that on, but wanted to put it out there that they will be looking for that.
Do we have to take those ones? If you can't find it.
Really, so I'm going. Yeah.
If I'm not in the middle of an election, I told them.
Yeah. Laura's-
I like them.
I don't know. So.
Yes.
Yeah, it's, I mean, that group saved villages. A number of years ago, the municipalities wanted to put in the villages. And it was just lucky, Stephen McNeil, Springman. And there's more villages in his line than any other part of Nova Scotia. They got together, the municipalities were told. Yeah, the problems to determine the villages.
Well, you can't go.
No, I mean, that's, I think I can't commit to sure.
Man, you're.
No. Well, you're on the edge of it.
I was thinking in the session, there was no police children like to, I would like to be a second.
Totally. You actually want to get away.
There's,
Well,
both committed to it.
folks have both of you. Yeah. But I think Laura wished had that interest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take the chair, but I was willing to,
be away anyway. If it's serious, I will go. Yeah, but now it's-
I don't think they have.
St. Peter's really nice. I went and met her the year before also. They have Pirate Day or something on at the same time, and she said you must.
That's why I booked really early. There's not much around.
In St. Peter's, right?
Yeah, because this year's St. Peter's, next year is, oh my God, the place out right by Kentville, Port Williams is doing it next year, and then it's us.
Yeah.
So, shall we put you down for all the
Yes.
dates you're available? Okay, so how will we be on for this?
Okay.
To book the island tour and everything. For when it's in.
Yeah, the book is still there.
Oh. I go to the meetings.
It's, yeah, you talking about the advocacy is a good point, because I've noticed even over the year and a bit that I've been here that it's really having an effect, because some of the material that we're getting from the municipal affairs is saying municipalities and villages much more than they used to. And the municipal advisors were all really encouraging the organization to keep at it, because it really helps.
And they are adding villages to municipalities with some of the language. Municipalities, if you're in the village, this is. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we differentiate,
Because we keep asking them.
because we had to go with whatever the municipal council. Before, you had to follow the same rules.
I'm assuming that no one is second for to be on the board.
You know,
So
so.
we can get that on.
Maybe not.
No,
Just a lot of it.
okay, so we just want to look at the draft motion on page 52 and the next motion. We'd be running for that.
Oh, Lord, it's called this thing.
And Laura. Yes, we'll wait.
Well, let's follow it in. Yeah. Well, you're, oh, that's the word commission, hopefully, Tom might be able to. It might be just you,
Where, we'll move back.
oh, to go to
The first month.
I guess the.
Yeah, well, the way we figured out, Laura and I will go, but Tom is the alternate.
Selection block.
Well, it's supposed to drop. Yeah,
Oh, really?
listen. It's on the road.
Yeah, well, it's rumor than the handwritten them came in.
Which live stream, so just.
It's been 48 hours.
Okay, so that motion made. All it has to be is one more. Take a bill.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
So Laura and Geraldine with Thomas and Ocean.
Come up with a date though, so we can free up those rooms, like if we haven't told them what.
I have the date that we have to release them in my calendar, so.
Well, it did. That, well.
Then we'll know.
yeah, or
Hopefully Tom will be able to fix one of the rooms.
Okay, well,
I think all we can do is to pass it through.
We don't actually probably need a motion, it's just always an.
you all, yeah.
Okay.
You and two other commissioners that you can arrange it.
For
Okay,
me.
8.2, legal walker, this one, the shocker, boys and girls.
Yeah,
Well, that's upgrades.
so
And whether it's trying to have enough to get us the whole report.
Oh, that's 100 and some pages.
it is in the electronic version.
Yeah.
I'm not anticipating that you would all have what you want to do right this minute. It was more a case of, I didn't have time to write a report connected to this.
Well, we all have that.
Yeah, so we all know that this is a big item, so we're gonna have to prioritize and then potentially look at finding
We
funding.
only have 130,000.
No, we have,
Accessibility.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but one's for repairs.
Yes,
So
so we've got roughly. Roughly 200 for accessibility,
Yeah.
so,
Sure, go ahead. I read it, so I just, on the references, this brings me up to standard.
yeah.
that's the standard.
So the intention there was, so there's the washroom, which. I haven't written a report, so I'm talking off the top of my head, but I'm thinking that's the priority because that is something that's. Used by everybody and it's mostly accessible, so that's kind of step one. As far as the pool's concerned, it's not a requirement, but it's a really good thing to do. So we'll have to figure out what of that can be accomplished this year, and if there's a project that we need to do some more fundraising on in future years. But again, because I haven't had a chance to kind of break it all down and make a recommendation on what we do. I just wanted to make sure you knew it. We have to be able to report on it in September of 2045. So we have time, but we have
A report on what's the plan to do.
on what we are doing or have done.
We had one
Yes.
already,
We
we didn't expect it to be this.
Okay, so. I guess okay, so what's the price for non-compliance?
no,
You can still beat the pool over there.
yes,
Until if the act comes in. Right?
yeah, anything that's a new build must.
Yeah.
But because we're a public center,
Retro.
because we're a public sector entity, there's a lot of heat. Honest to,
Looking at washroom, so the $60,000, put a sign, change the sign, replace some hardware, a deadbolt, or the paper, grab it, that can cost 60, there's nothing like knock down a wall or anything. That can cost
We're
60,000.
talking about ripping off the entry doors for.
Well, that's, yeah, 60,000. It's not.
I think they're looking to get the work too, I think.
no, they have nothing to, they have nothing to do with the actual.
If that's it's broken down for each thing at the price, right? I bet the municipalities guys could do that for $5,000.
So what,
Door.
The door has to be signed.
yes,
But that switchback, right, down to the pool deck, including metal handrails to meet requirements of clause this and clause that. No, I'm just saying, but I don't even expect we could do, our pool is too small for one. You start taking up a big concrete switch to get into the pool.
for an elevator, for example, so we could ask for that.
Yeah, well,
Um,
but these guys gave us the gold plated.
Well, also, the switchback is much more inconvenient in terms of geology than an elevator, but my guess is an elevator would be more expensive.
really,
No.
the switchback was a lot more than I expected to see, so.
There's just not space.
Because you're digging up that whole side.
Yeah.
But, so what I wanted to suggest here was just, if you wanted to,
That's $60,000 bathroom.
yes and no, because what we do with the Class D is then go out to RFP. What we get back at RFP, so it's a guideline for us to judge what we get back. So we have to make some decisions about what we want to have done, and if it comes back less, fantastic, then.
Well, I mean, I would be worried, you know, let's prevent marriage of toilet paper to say that, yeah, I mean, it's.
Mhm.
What you think?
You say. Said that it's gonna be nuts. It's a 2-month effort down there. And she quit on this because in the city, she can go where she wants. I get so upset because the chocolate is so good. And it's such a, it works, it's Like Halifax, you don't work, we get it at eight. Yeah, okay. So, great on that. I think it's accessibility. This,
Would you come swimming?
keeping down there. There's some children. And it's difficult to get it down. Yeah, so I don't know if it's there. But. You know, would you expect it to read? It's just 6 months.
Shape the table itself.
Yes, it is. I don't know if she's not pretty bad. I said, wait, Jim, you know what?
Does she have her own like wheelchair where she can go into the water with her wheelchair, or do you have to just?
No, she doesn't go, she's, used to be a great swimmer, but she, the down to the rehab and Halifax, and all that stuff over there. No, but I know that's, stuff.
But if, what I was looking for really, I guess, is just some direction to, if you had immediate questions for them, like the elevator, I can ask them that. But just direction to go away and prepare a report.
Yeah, go away
Bring it
and
back.
report like, something for you to interpret that, and I've got.
I'd like to think of meeting with to try and.
No, they were 4 to 5, so yeah. Hey, once the first supposed to be where the easy to do.
I'm gonna talk to him.
And, you know, I was bringing it up to some sort of. And
But look at Jennifer, look at this, if the legislation was passed. We
for a new bill,
Oh, they do it. Yeah.
this is reference. We would have to make best out. So,
Yeah, you do.
Go ahead and understand, so we're looking for kind of accessibility.
Yeah, no, I really.
I think that the way the legislation is handled is that there's one kid class is going to be just said that each, especially in government structures, do their best to make it amenable to citizens. So, no one will be required to do it for the system infrastructure. The legislation will be moved.
The home bay is building a brand new tool with that will have all work.
but you're doing this, you can actually buy it.
Yeah, so. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'll come back. Yeah, I'll say.
We thought we did well to get the money, we thought it should be a problem. You know, what we actually need to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of that money is like the other world. Okay, so we're going to our senior staff. Find a different industry.
It may not, I'll do my best to get it back in August, but we'll have to see. I think there's a lot of people I want.
Forward September.
Yeah.
And then we are gonna move on to 8.3 and the church handwriting is so bad you can read. You want to respond to something.
There is more information here than anyone needs, but let's, you know, it's
Should find the damn free, how do they work?
$200. So yeah, we were just. Yeah, the one we have doesn't have a freezer and that's become a bit problematic. I certainly would have liked it when I first broke my hand. And I still actually, use it. Yeah, exactly.
So which one do you want?
So, oh my God, thank you. I'm horrified. Thank you.
And the Coolatron.
So we were more looking at either the mini freezer, because it's like a little wee thing, or the Paderno 2-door, which I think we're kind of leaning to that because
Which one?
the very first one. It's of course the most expensive, but it's either that.
Crazy, something like that, like in the trailer.
Yeah, it's like you flip over one page, it's the first one.
Oh, it's the first one.
So.
This thing is.
So Danny's
We have to get much bigger.
Yeah. Smaller, so the next two are smaller.
Oh, yeah.
And then our other option, which is to get a little kind of box. Just a page, a separate freezer, you just.
One of those tools or something, pretty sweet, so we got the first one, that's gonna do it for you?
I think so.
All
Yep.
right, so let you get that one.
You're moving that top?
Well, it's second move, whatever you want.
Yeah, you want me to make a motion? Okay. We don't have.
Canadian Tire, we do, sorry, it's on the, oh, I'm sorry, I gave it to Geraldine.
I'm bad.
I'm over with the other fridge,
Actually, I know, I think I would move it in here to keep
water.
water and things for meetings.
I'm gonna see something better.
I just need something that has a freezer.
Oh, no,
So the other one, I think I would move it in here, to put things like this. And we can put, you know,
Said this man who reviews every bloody thing.
See if it's in the budget. This was for miscellaneous. We haven't spent it yet.
so there's the,
I don't have the motion.
Well, Tom can come up with a motion to that.
On the motion. Direct the. Clerk treasurer to purchase the option one for general $2. Reason.
You have a second?
I'll second.
Who gets the Canadian Tire funds?
the village, because I have an account.
Oh, this makes the most.
Yeah. What did you say?
Let's do it.
Very good. As we move on, Tom, you will have to talk us about this because we don't have a clerk treasurer, paper to work on.
Oh, hopefully the audience will, we, I think for this short, but it's always forgetting all the village from the sun. I think
Oh, the big meeting in the summertime.
so, I would go in for August, we take at least 1 month. Most governments do it, province takes. I think we're still on, we looked at, John.
People go on vacation. But what if something comes up? Yeah,
If we check the shut down, the village can certainly go to see, and we can call a special meeting.
what do you think?
If we just go ahead with our monthly meeting, if we don't have a forum, the meeting is canceled, if we do have a forum, we go
So you're suggesting no, we do not actually play a lot.
ahead. That's my contribution. Mixing it, just contributing.
Maybe some records, who's been friendly, try to get people to serve on the board. And I don't know, it's like, I can't say for certain, but I believe when in this Spanish. And all we're gonna miss is yeah.
The August date is the 21st, I believe. That's right, it's on the agenda, August 21st, yeah.
Okay, I'm not for certain, I would have that mention that day. Meeting first, but 20 something around. I'll be able to for a few weeks.
Okay, so. How do you feel? I mean, it really should, it's just a feeling thing. I don't think we sometimes we don't meet or we do it.
Well, it would be more convenient for me, at least this year. It's not bad.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but other years, I wouldn't say I would guarantee it, but it interferes with my vacation. this time.
If we, somebody like to put a motion on the floor that for 2024 August, with the motion not me, except in urgent all on the, kids.
I'll make the motion.
Let somebody second it.
Yeah, also, sure. Long just for just.
Yeah, stay in.
I never did all of it. I want to slip out of my shorts into my. 6 days in catch.
Hopefully, people don't forget this, so that we can, so.
Oh, yeah, no, so. Is anybody butter or that? Me and Tom.
Well, first,
Yeah, I guess before we actually hit. What if you guys could be on the train?
Guys, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's a commissioner roundtable. Would anyone like more?
All time.
One proposal for September's meeting. we still, it's in the past, it's been criticized by people, far too much money for the show.
We've never been for this. I mean, so time.
But I think we look into it, like,
We don't policy anyway.
Exactly. So people are not, talking about stuff to share about.
Did you bring us a report from some policy?
Yep.
Sure, I'm not talking about it.
Well, I can speak to the finance folk, first, because she seemed.
Okay.
Especially since it's all broken up with the fire and everything.
That's why,
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to bring a new policy back anyway.
Are their accounts now separated?
That's what we're talking about. Mr. Kennedy.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. if that's-
Okay, with the other, EDM, I was the one who told that, I think it's 6 years ago. This thing's been taken around, what do you call it, strategic plan?
Yeah, 2019.
So what does ADM stand?
ADM is the consulting company, and what we do is it's really done by EDM, went out to the public. A lot of complaint, hey, what do you want us to do? Okay, it is really well, responded. And we were amazed at the detail that people went and mentioned. So I for one page or something, I'm going to take it up in September, where are we with it? There are more stories about it. Take, run with it.
Because it goes, we don't. Let me back up a little bit. So it's from 2019. They did an excellent job. It's a really good report. They did an excellent, very robust community engagement to get all the answers. So this is the thing I was talking about scheduling a time for us all to sit down with that report and the recommendations and basically develop a strategy of what we would like to go ahead with.
Yeah.
So that it's a starting point to develop a village strategy, is that we need to define who we are. So I totally agree with Tom. It's a very good report. It's a good starting place. So we just need to schedule a meeting to, like a workshop to work on our strategic plan and start with that.
Yeah. Good idea.
So obviously, because I was saying in my report, do we want to do it in August, or do we want to do it in December? But not in August, but I can book, I can book a date in September. Okay.
And also, I think better a pretty busy month.
Yes.
And all that stuff till October.
But I'll circulate the participation at a time.
Yeah, okay, so somehow.
Yeah, we can figure out how we can all like on.
National 10 days.
This is over and above the regular commission meeting.
Yeah.
Workshop, that would be a total match.
Brings, who brings the ideas? You?
We haven't read.
I think the head of the started copy of something.
It's very good.
But
And there's recommendations in it, so it's worth
It was in the book.
today going through those recommendations, see.
so do we, yeah, if you bring that forward.
Can we be for one, this, so people can read it, and how they can read it.
I can print out a set for everybody and then you can just make notes on it so that maybe there goes.
But I believe we got it when we joined the commission. Yeah, it was something. I believe that might have been it, but I'm going to look this.
I know it's not in the bottom that you guys got. But I'll.
So, that's what was, but,
No need, Mr. Houston doesn't mess that up.
So we got early October then.
Or you don't need.
Or you won't.
well, no, you may not be coming back, that's certain, possible. I think you would.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but the time difference, it just isn't gonna be there.
As far as I know, but I can check with municipal authorities.
You can be a commissioner and run for a municipal position on council.
I'll check.
Can we just agree to some point in October, we will reach.
Yeah,
Oh, we did that.
we're composed of the present commission or not.
We'll need that, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Around here. We have a motion to move in from. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Just a moment while we turn things off.
Randy and Laura. At 7:28.